Welcome back to the Ed Show. President Obama is speaking here in Manhattan tonight at a fundraiser. Let's listen in.
It was because of your commitments to each other. It's not a vision of America where everybody is left to fend for themselves. It's a vision of America where everybody works together and everybody who works hard has a chance to get ahead. Not just those at the very top. That's the vision we shared. That's the change we believed in, that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter what your name is, that in this country, you can make it if you try. That was the change we believed in. And we knew it wasn't going to come easy. We knew it wouldn't come quickly. But I want you to think about what we have done in just 3 years because of what you did in 2008. Think about it. Think about what change looks like. Change is the first bill I signed into law. Pretty simple law. It says women deserve an equal day's pay for an equal day's work because I want my daughters to have the same opportunity as someone's sons. That happened because of you. Change is the decision we made to rescue the American auto industry from collapse. Even when there were some politicians who were saying, let's let Detroit go bankrupt. And with 1 million jobs on the line, we weren't going to let that happen. And today, GM is back on top as the world's #1 automaker. Just reported the highest profits in 100 years. With 200,000 new jobs created in the last 2.5 years, the American auto industry is back. That happened because of you. Change is the decision we made to stop just waiting for Congress to do something about our addiction to oil and finally raise our fuel efficiency standards. And by the next decade, we will be driving American-made cars that get almost 55 miles to the gallon, and that will save the typical family $8,000 at the pump and reduce our dependence on foreign oil and start actually giving us some independence from these gas prices that have been going up. That's what changes. That's what you did. Change is the fight we want to stop handing $60 billion in taxpayer subsidies to banks to process student loans and give that money directly to students and families who need it so that millions of young people around the country are able to afford college just a little bit better. Change is health care reform that we passed after a century of trying. A reform that ensures that in the United States of America, nobody will go bankrupt just because they get sick. And already 2.5 million young people have health insurance today because this law lets them stay on their parents' plan. And every American can no longer be denied or dropped by their insurance company when they need care the most. That happened because of you. Because of what you were willing to fight for back in 2008. Changes the fact that for the first time in history, you don't have to hide who you love to serve the country you love because we got rid of don't ask, don't tell. And change is keeping another promise I made in 2008. For the first time in 9 years, there are no Americans fighting in Iraq. We put that war to an end. And we refocused our efforts on the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11. And thanks to the incredible men and women in uniform, Al-Qaeda is weaker than it has ever been, and Osama bin Laden will never again walk the face of this earth. We've restored respect for America around the world, made clear that America will abide by those core values that made us a great country. We ended torture. We promoted human rights. We made it clear that America is a Pacific power. We demonstrated that if countries like Burma travel down the road of democratic reform, they will find a new relationship with the United States. And we are leading again by the power of our moral example. That's what change is. None of this change, nobody's announced a war, young lady, so, but we appreciate your sentiment. You're jumping the gun a little bit there. None of this change has been easy. And we've got a lot more work to do. There's still too many Americans out there looking for work. There are too many families out there who are having a tough time paying their bills or making their mortgage, or their house is underwater. They're still recovering from the worst economic storm in our lifetimes, in generations. But over the last 2 years, businesses have added about 3.7 million new jobs. Our manufacturing sector is creating jobs again for the very first time since the 1990s. Our economy is getting stronger. The recovery is accelerating. America is coming back. And the last thing we can afford to do right now is to go back to the very same policies that got us into this mess in the first place. But, you know, that is exactly what the other folks for this office, who are running for this office, want to do. I don't know if you've been paying attention. But they may not make no secret about their agenda. They want to go back to the days when Wall Street played by its own rules. They want to go back to the days when insurance companies could deny coverage or jack up your premiums without a reason. They want to spend $1 trillion more on tax breaks for the wealthiest individuals, even if it means adding to our deficit, or gutting education, or gutting our investment in clean energy, or making it tougher for seniors who are on Medicare. And their philosophy is simple. We are better off when everybody's left to fend for themselves. The most powerful can play by their own rules. We're at a crossroads here. We've got as stark a choice as we've seen in a very long time.
President Obama speaking to campaign donors here in New York City tonight, live on MSNBC.